Monaco. Formula 2 has been welcomed back to this most famous of race locations, and the excitement in the air is building as we count down to the start of today's race. The Circuit de Monaco is, for all practical purposes, pretty much unchanged since its 1929 introduction. It's strange to consider, but this 2.1 mile lap will take the drivers here around almost an entire country. 19 corners, but not that many opportunities for overtaking. Instead, this is a track that rewards technical skill. I'm Alex Jakes, and I'm joined once again by the GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. Davide, today's race takes place on one of the most infamous street circuits in motorsports. What is it about this track that makes it stand out?
Alex, I'm very happy to be here. Monaco is a short track, but the wall is just after the white line. The drivers need to stay aware from the line and from the wall, and it's so important to start in the first two rows if you want to compete for the victory.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Teo Porcher will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from him, and it's Liam Lawson alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vips, Fiscal, Ben Fiscal, and Beckman. For sure, Samaya, Zendelli, Christian Lundgaard, Deruvela, Armstrong, Oscar Piastri, and Deleda, Dragovic, Tictum, Aitkit, and Guan Yu Zhou. Nissani, Sato, Schwartzman, and Ralph Boschung completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for the feature race here from the Monaco Grand Prix. Hello everyone, and welcome back guys to a brand new video. Before we dive into this though, I just want to say I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas yesterday. F1 2021 content though is back here today once more. You know, I thought it was only fair we took the day off yesterday, but of course we've got plenty more exciting things coming over the next couple of weeks between now and New Year. Of course we've got the season finale of both the Williams Road to Glory and, of course, our My Team career mode. And then, of course, we'll be diving into the pre-season news and everything like that for both of those series as well. But yeah, today, though, we've got other things to worry about. We've got the Monaco Grand Prix here today. I want to see if we can start on a set of the soft compound tyres. Sorry, the super soft tyres. No, you can't. I know some of you guys were getting a bit confused what I meant by that. You can't change the strategy at all. You can't go onto a set of super softs to start the Grand Prix, which I would like to do, but I guess we won't worry about that too much. Is going to make this race rather interesting though, obviously seeing how well those super soft tyres can do towards the end of the Grand Prix here. But yeah, 13th on the grid though. We've been able to make good forward progress in both races so far this weekend, but this of course is where the big points are available, so fingers crossed we can do it once more. Then waiting on the grid for the 5 red lights here at the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's going to be lights out and away we go. And responding really well there as we immediately try to look up the inside of Jay Anderuvler. And that might be up 2 spots off the start of the Grand Prix. I haven't had much luck trying to hook up these F2 cars so far this year, but that was definitely the best one I've done. Past Deruvela and Marcus Armstrong as we head up the hill on lap 1. And yeah, we gained obviously 3 places in the the first sprint race of the weekend. There is all Jay Anderuvler. Apologies for that. We might make it 3 again in the feature race as we have a look up the inside of Christian Lundgaard. Just giving the room on the exit here. Going to be a bit more careful down through the hairpin as we try and put the power down on the exit there. And yeah, that again has been a dream start to this feature race here. Of course, many points available from this one today. We just need to try and get sort of a consistent point streak going at this stage of the championship. But Teo Porcher currently leads the way then as we come towards the end of lap 1. Of course, yeah, took pole position on Friday in a very wet conditions. But yeah, really hasn't had a good weekend of it so far. Obviously dropped back in the first sprint race and then yeah, just couldn't make any progress particularly in the second one either. So Teo Porcher, yeah, I'm sure really desperately needs the full 25 points from this final race of the weekend. But coming towards the end of lap 1, all over the back of Richard Vachon. We might be able to do the up and under. Oh, no, we cannot. Yeah, Richard Vachon having none of that out of the final corner there. As yeah, Teo Porcher leads at the end of lap 1 ahead of, I think it's both of the high techs, I want to say. who again seem to be one of the more consistent teams so far this year. Schwartzman, my teammate, though, is in last place at the end of lap 1, which isn't really ideal. They're 21 laps ahead of us, though, around Monaco today for these 22 drivers. And fingers crossed we won't see a roadblock like we did early on in Sprint Race 2 there. Bent Viscal, of course, dropping it by himself in that race. He's currently just up in 7th place at the moment for this 3rd and final race of the weekend, round the outside of Richard Verschoor. Thank you very much. We'll have that again. I know I said yesterday, Friday even, that I might not try and do moves like that anymore around here, but sometimes you've got to. Team happy with that one, though. Let's put our foot down and focus on trying to close it to the other MP Motorsport car of Larim Zendelli. And that's not how we're going to be able to do that. Almost. Well, I mean, we completely locked the rears there and narrowly avoided the wall. And as has been tradition so far this weekend, as soon as we get a lap with a bit of clear air, we might just be able to go fastest here as we head through the final corner. No one at the front of the field going any faster. What are we going to be able to do as we cross the line? It's only a 22.2. So I'm sure, yeah, on fresher, softer rubber with much less fuel in the car later on in the race. And there we go, a second on Richard Verschoor on that last lap there. But yeah, 22.2 isn't bad, but still close to a second off where I was, I think, in Sprint Race 2. I think that was a 22.3. We almost bent Viscalit as we head down the hill. Yes, that's what I'm calling that now. Larim Zendelli, they're just having a small lock-up in towards the final few corners of the lap. We're going to try and capitalise around the outside through Larascas. We couldn't make it work in Sprint Race 2 against Liam Lawson. Oh, a little bit of contact there between myself and Larim Zendelli. I thought he was going to back out of that one a little bit more. He tried to keep the nose there, a little bit of contact. I think we both got away with it. But yeah, getting sketchy early on here. But up now into 8th place of this feature race there. Top guys starting to spread out a little bit, but it looks like, yeah, the high-techs are hounding Teo Porcher, who still leads this race early on. All over the back of Bent Viscal, though, as he gets a little bit twitchy down the hill. Can we try and get a run on the Trident out of the hairpin? He's really struggling to put the power down, and look at that. Maybe Bent Viscal's got some issues in that car there, side by side through the Monaco tunnel. Big wobble on the exit offline there, but Bent Viscal, yeah, I reckon he must have some sort of mechanical issue there, or is really struggling for consistency, because that seemed alarmingly easy to pull off. There we go. Another new fast lap of the day.
Lap of the race. Keep this up.
Thank you, Jeff, for just adding that information there. We're really starting to get into a groove now once more. Feeling like we're able to lean on the car once, now obviously the fuel's gone down. We're basically on the starting fuel level you'd have for a sprint race here, as Guilherme Samaya struggling a little bit over the top of the hill. He's done pretty well so far this weekend, has consistently been sort of there in the lower end of the points, but a big lock-up as we head through Upper Mirabel was not going to do him any favours. Oh, let's look at that. Really slow on the exit there is the Brazilian in his Charu's car. As are we going to be able to now get a run, a bit like we did on Bent Viscal there. Not quite the same momentum on the exit of the corner, but are we going to be within dive bomb range for a 3rd time this weekend on Samaya? Oh, no. Not quite that time. It's all back end. This car can just get out of nowhere. You just lock the rears slightly and the back end just completely decides it's doing its own thing in these races. Oh, just get a little bit sketchy out through the end of Sector 2 there. But yeah, I mean, I've said it so many times before. I'm loving the F2 car's handling on F1 2021. Almost loving the maybe switchback we could have gotten Samaya there, but thought better of it as we tried to put the power down out of the final corners. We've actually got Porcher and Bent Viscal in. So were they actually on super soft tyres to begin this race? There's no way they're going to the end, surely on that rubber. I don't think Bent Viscal was. Surely he wasn't, because we flew past him, unless that's why the overtake was so easy and I just never spotted it on the MFD. Maybe these guys were on the super soft tyres there, so they're going to be mighty fast towards the end. So although we weren't able to change our tyres onto the alternate strategy, seems like some of the AI have been able to. So I'm not quite sure how that works, but that can make things really interesting towards the end of the Monaco Grand Prix. There is, again, 2nd lap in a row. We almost have a look up the inside of Samaya in towards Anthony Noakes, but what are we going to be able to do against the Charu? I can't sit looking at Tesla logos all day. So we head back up the hill. Come on, Kramer, give us everything you got at the moment. This car is dancing around these streets. There was, again, a little bit of a lock-up. Brakes tried it on the rear. Oh, this thing is so alive underneath you still. Always a good challenge. Just look at that, Samaya. Really, really slow on the exit, and we capitalise there. Going over the bump, he clobbers the inside wall. And surely now it's going to be side by side in towards the hairpin. No, Samaya somehow hangs on to it. Even more contact on the exit of the corner there. And surely now, if we stick close, third time's a charm here at Monaco. Are we going to be able to go for a third send on the Brazilian there? We get a pretty good run out in towards the tunnel here. We're gaining back in ever so slightly on the shrew. Thank you very much. And the cleanest of the lot, I reckon.
Nice move.
Why we can't do that to anyone else other than Samaya this weekend, I will never know, as that's not going to help us. Just knocking the wall there. But, yeah, we've done that 3 times to him, and we can't do it on anyone else for some reason. But, yeah, let's just monitor that front wing damage now then, and fingers crossed get to our pit window still unscathed. Oh, there we go, Bent Viscal, new fastest lap of the day. Richard Verschoor going even faster. So those guys are really motoring at the moment, and there could be some big, big undercuts coming in later on. I guess the real question is, as long as they don't get caught up in slower traffic, because there will be some slow cars up and down the order here. But, yeah, let's just wait and see about that. We've still got our own race to play at the moment. Good news is, doesn't feel like that tiny knock on the front wing's done much. Car still handles pretty well.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the supersonics.
Well, the gaps are pretty much stabilising at this stage of the day. We're still taking a little bit of time
The car behind
at
has
David
started
Beckman.
to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form.
Okay, I guess Jeff is going to completely go against what I've just said there, but yeah, just very, very worried about all those guys that pit earlier on. I mean, we should be a lot quicker than them towards the end of this race, but yeah, it still doesn't make it very easy at Monaco. Well, even if you've got sort of, you know, a good second a lap, we've made it look pretty easy this weekend. And a Formula 2 car definitely far, far easier than a Formula 1 car around here to make a move. But that being said, yeah, it's still going to be rather tough towards the end of this race. I'm going to narrow about whether it's worth just getting a front wing change. Now, I'm getting a bit worried if we get caught in someone's dirty air, whether we'll just sort of get stuck behind them, just because it is not badly affecting us, but certainly still a little bit. I'm noticing it through mainly the left-handers, sort of Massenet, Tabac, places like that, you know, sort of the long flowing left-handers. We're definitely struggling a bit. I think it might just be worth taking the hit then, and obviously knowing we have a fast race car to the end, as that is the worst line you'll ever see through La Rascasse. That was awful.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
So team just confirm, and then we are boxing at the end of this one, and there's pushing, and then there's almost pushing ourselves into retirement by walloping the Armco through turn 1. Got away with it there. It was only a slight knock in the end. So important in those situations you don't panic and lock the fronts up, otherwise you're always just going to make it worse. As yeah, these tyres are definitely not destroyed, but of course heavier fuel means you do burn them up a little bit more here, so they're not feeling as comfortable as they would in the dying stages of a sprint race here. But yeah, like I said, we're still the gap to Beckman pretty much even. I'm tempted just to put the front wing on, like I said. Samaya's really dropped back though over these last few laps there, so I'm wondering whether we might be able to stay ahead of him, or at least come out right behind him when we do box. Intrigued to see which of the high-techs is going to be given priority as well at the front of the field. Of course, a 1-2 at this moment in this race, but no idea what Porcher's doing,
For a new strategy option.
as that's going to solidify the front wing change required in this race. Come on, just get through the final couple of corners, Matt. Yeah, happy now that I've set it up definitely to change. But actually, those guys don't pit. Why have they not pit then at the end of that lap there? Looks like one of the high-techs has come in. See, luckily for us, we got one of the first boxes. As there is going to be Samaya. Oh, front wing changes take so much longer on the F2 cars. I'd forgot about that. Oh, this is a disaster. Where are we going to re-emerge in this race? Come on. 15 seconds. Oh, dearie me. That's not quite what we wanted there. Zendelli's come back out ahead of us. Samaya's way up the road. So all the hard work we've done at this stage of the day is going to be completely undone here. We're going to come out around about.
That was our last stop.
Why is Zendelli so slow on the exit? As we head back down towards turn 1. Keep it between the yellow lines. There we go. So we've come out just behind the 2 MP Motorsport cars there. No idea how many cars still need to pit up the road, but Zendelli's struggling. Round the outside we go. at the top of the hill there on cold rubber. We're going to capitalise on the rim. Zendelli being much, much more cautious than myself, and we're going to fly straight back up into 12th place then of the race. So I think we're still battling right at the tail end of the point still. But I think, yeah, Teo Porcher has really made that work in the end there. He's got a good few seconds over the high-tech cars. But can we close up to Richard Verschoor again? 7 laps to go here of the feature race. We're 2/3 race distance of the final race of the weekend. And there's definitely still a few more cars that we can capitalise on. Richard Verschoor really, really struggling, though, as we head through the final couple of corners of this lap. Oh, Richard Verschoor is actually going to pit there at the end of lap, what's that, lap 15? No idea what Verschoor was trying to do, as Lundgaard's come out just behind us, so we haven't actually lost as much as I thought we had then. We're still in P6 at the moment. Zendelli's come out just behind us, but what was Richard Verschoor doing? Have they two-stopped this?
Coming in for his stop.
Why have they two-stopped this race? Unless Schwartzman's picked up damage, have they done super soft... What have they done? I'm so confused at this race at the moment there, but what I do know is we're back up into P6 of the GP. Samaya just a few seconds up the road there. I think Beckman's going to be too far away by the end of this one, but there's still going to be a chance at some good points. We need to try and get fastest lap though as well before I forget. Oh, there we go, down into the 120s.
Gap to teammate behind is 37.2 seconds.
Down into the 120s and a big, big drift as we head out of turn 1 there, but there's still definitely a bit more time to find on that lap as we try to close back up to Guilherme Samaya. Definitely still struggling on pace is the Brazilian. No idea whether he's just nicked the front wing or has just been told to bring the car home and pick up as many points as possible here, but the gap down to 2.4. Meanwhile, the gap to David Beckman's actually gone the other way. Out of the final corner, though, again, it's going to be even faster at 20.5. Oh, what a lap that was here at the Monaco Grand Prix, but 4 to go here, and the gap to Samaya down to just 1.4 seconds. Boschung now, yeah, the gap's making a bit more... sorry, Beckman even, I should say. The gap's now making a lot more sense to. How on earth we went purple and lost time, I'll never know, but, oh, big drift as we head back down the hill, but we are pushing to close down this gap. Right, come on then, at the final corner. Let's just wait and see if we can get another run on Guilherme Samaya. Let's be fair, we all know where the move's going to happen at this stage of the day.
Strong, but be aware your tyres need to go the distance.
Ooh, Samaya, big lock-up though down in towards turn 1. We haven't seen too many of those this weekend, and I think there was a little bit of panic there from Guilherme, but of course Teo Porcher, yeah, completely out of contention for this race victory here, as are we now going to be able to have a look past Samaya. Again, he gets a little bit loose at the top of the hill as we're just all over the back of him and weaving this way and that, trying to find a move. Oh, Samaya runs a bit deep into the hairpin. Can we stay close though? Come on, we can't do this 4 times to the poor man in one weekend. Oh, we're getting close. Oh, come on. Guilherme Samaya. I even want to see him defend from this, because it's just every single time we get close to him in this Grand Prix, up the inside we go. Bit of a lock-up that time, but I genuinely feel a bit sorry for him.
Nice overtake.
My 4 best moves of an F2 weekend are all going to be on the same man in the same corner. How has he not learned to just go a little bit defensive there? That time round, I thought he might consider it. But yeah, 2 to go then here from Monaco, and Guilherme Samaya is well and I'm well and truly rent-free in his head. I don't know where he lives in the world, but we've got a free key. Well, about to start the final lap then here of the Monaco Grand Prix, and what have we learned from this weekend? Definitely our race pace is incredibly strong now. We're looking like we're getting everything out of this Prema car. We just really need to sort out our qualifying. You know, we could easily be threatening for race victories, race in, race out so far. We've only had 1 podium, I think, so far this season. Of course, that came in yesterday's sprint race here. But if we get our qualifying sorted, I think we are certainly a threat. The likes of Enzo Fittipaldi, where he's just consistently qualifying at the front after the opening 2 rounds there, it just means he picks up big points in a couple of races in the weekend, unless it goes disastrous for him. But Baku next time round is going to be a very interesting circuit as well to head back to, as we're just going to put even more rubber in onto the circuit. You know, help the F1 drivers out. They've got their race later on today, but yeah, pretty much we're looking consistent at the moment, but we've just got to sort out our qualifying so we're at least consistent right at the sharp end of the field there. But I mean, 3 races, a 5th I want to say in the first one, and then it was 2nd of course in sprint race 2, and then another 5th in the feature race. Means I'd say we're probably one of the highest scorers of the weekend, backed up with 6 bonus points for fastest lap there. All 3 fastest laps are going to be claimed by yours truly, unless someone else does a whirly on the final lap here. But heading in towards the final couple of corners, it looks like it's going to be Hi-Tech making it 2 out of 3 this weekend. Is it going to be Liam Lawson taking his 2nd win in a row, or is it going to be his teammate as we head in towards the final couple of turns? It is going to be Liam Lawson, back-to-back race victories here on the Monaco streets. His teammate comes through just behind him, Fittipaldi 3rd, and we come through for P5 again.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here's our winner, pulling their Hi-Tech GP into Parc Fermé then. What a fantastic race. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
It was down to one thing: consistent pace over everyone else out there on the track. We could spend a great deal of time talking about race and tire strategy, what is so cool on the track, but at the end of the day, the difference here was down to simply being faster on track than everyone else. Amazing skill on show.
And it's time now for the podium celebrations, and how well deserved is this one? What a fantastic victory for Hi-Tech GP. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. On to the teams then. It was a tough race for our championship leaders, who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Campos this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After all this drama, you'll be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
Well, there we are then, guys. The end of the feature race here from the Monaco GP. And Liam Lawson makes it 2 from 2. Well, 2 from 3 technically, but 2 in a row here this weekend. There, a fantastic job done by him and Hi-Tech there for, I think, the first 1-2 of the year. I want to see as well there. Yuri Vips in 2nd place, followed up by Enzo Fittipaldi there. David Beckman ahead of myself, Oscar Piastri, Guilherme Samaya, Larim Zendelli, Lungard Armstrong, and Felipe Drogovic round out your top 10 there, with Deleda just missing out on points ahead of his teammate Jack Aitken there. But yeah, weird. Why did Teo Porcher pit? The only 4 points he got from this race weekend were from qualifying, which is really heartbreaking, I must admit there. But yeah, that does mean, if we have a look at the results from the weekend, we did come through for P2 there. Liam Lawson comes through for the dub. I'm not too sure why it's missing the race 3 points there. But yeah, Liam Lawson, because he didn't score a point in race 1, yeah, still come out on top there. It's a fantastic job done by him. We come through P2 ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi there, and like I said, the consistency from him so critical at this stage of the campaign. There's Zendelli ahead of Lungard there. Guilherme Samaya, like I said, 20 points from the weekend. Rather good to see from him there. 14 different drivers scoring, so who said you can't overtake at Monaco there. Championship-wise, though, Lawson now on top, 3 points ahead of the Brazilian there. We're just 1 point back behind Zendelli as well here, jumping past Richard Verschoor at the end of that one there, but already starting to look like we might have a bit of a four-way fight there. Lawson sort of like the big swinger, Enzo Fittipaldi always right at the front, Oscar Piastri consistency is king, and Larim Zendelli, must admit, kind of going under the radar so far, but yeah, has been tremendously fast in these first few race weekends there. Lungard jumps to Leda and Teo Porcher, Samaya and Vips jump past our teammate Bent Viscal, and then a whole host of other cars, and now just only a few more left to score here. Both Carlins, the HWA of Jack Aitken there, Ralph Boschung and Roy Nassani as Felipe Drogovic, gets his first points of the year. Means constructors-wise, 5 points separate 3 teams at the end of the second race weekend there, but it is still MP on top ahead of Hi-Tech and Charoux there. Prema still quietly sat in 4th at the moment, we're definitely ready to mount a challenge if Schwartzman gets into the swing of things there. Campos jump HWA, and yeah, like we said, Carlin, the only team left to score after the opening 2 race weekends. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we'll be back next weekend. Obviously, New Year's, but we're still going to try and put the videos out for you guys. We'll be back ready in Baku. You guys do not want to miss that. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel supporters. So a massive thank you to The Travesty, Patrick, Chwan, David, Ben, Aidan, Estasios, Kato, Sean, Johnny, McBlam, Mighty Spork, Tazief, William, and Nanon for becoming channel members. If you want to be featured at the end of all these videos, make sure you just click the join button down below.